I was wrong about Forex. So, a couple weeks in a row, I posted on how I can make a lot of money with Forex, potentially, but I wanted to give it some time to test it out, and I am so glad I did. By the way, I was going to do an epic video on Forex. However, this is a really important message for you, and I did not want to keep you waiting because it's a warning. Avoid this mistake. Here's the video. And I should have known because there are two really old proverbs that come to mind, and I will read them because I'm not smart enough to remember them word for word. But the first one is I should have listened to that YouTuber that actually made me think of Forex in the first place because he said it's basically gambling, don't try it. And I've heard that from many other big YouTubers like Graham Stephan and Andre Jick, and definitely Dave Ramsey, for sure. Dave would say that's what he would say. So the first one that I just explained is where there is no guidance, a people falls. But in an abundance of counselors, there is safety. So don't make the same mistake I made. Stay away from Forex. The second proverb that I don't know, nobody warned me. I've got lots of friends who are in touch with these proverbs, but they didn't tell me this. And maybe, rightfully so, because I'm a little fuzzy on the application of this one, but here it is. A faithful man will abound with blessings, but one eager to be rich will not go unpunished. So again, Dave Ramsey comes to mind here, Graham Stephan as well. Build wealth gradually, or it likely won't work. Now, Graham actually did this faster. Yeah, he took 10 years, 5 years, but still, that's slower than what a lot of people out there are wanting to do. Let's face it, we all want to get rich overnight. We don't want to work for it, and we just want it to happen. So we're all looking online for different ways. We throw money at these awful, awful gurus who will take your money saying that you're getting a $2,000 worth course for only $50. And if you act now, you'll get it for $20. It's a great deal. Just sign up now. I am following a different kind of guru. He's a Forex guy. He's he does take into account the news. However, he heavily, heavily, heavily relies on the charts, which I don't really like. And I'll tell you why. In theory, the charts are very reliable over the long run average. You're going to lose some, but for the most part, if you can read them correctly, you're going to win some. If you don't get emotional, if you don't get scared, which I've done. And yeah, check out my previous videos. I lost a bunch of money, made it back up. In this time, in 2020, it is very unwise to go purely on charts. And I'll tell you why exactly in my situation, why I'm telling you to stay away from foreign exchange. Because the guy I'm following is heavily betting against the Australian dollar right now, and he has been for the last month. Australia is an island, and they are faring really well now in 2020. Of course, the forest fires, if you forgot about those are horrible, but the global issue that's going on right now in 2020 is they're pretty much getting away with it pretty well compared to other countries. So all of the foreign exchange investors right now are investing in Australia, in the Australian dollar, because they have their restaurants pretty much open where the rest of the world is starting to shut down for a second time. So it's not looking good for other currencies, but for Australia, it's looking good. And the guy I'm following keeps betting against Australia. Like, now I know that eventually it'll bounce back, but what if it doesn't happen for a few years? I've tried it, it didn't work. I've told you before, I've tried poker, I've tried, which is actually probably more reliable than foreign exchange. I've tried foreign exchange, I've tried penny stocks, I've tried regular stocks, And I still have some stocks, and that portfolio is actually up pretty nicely, over 10% since March or April, which is pretty impressive. Mutual funds, same thing, up probably, I'd say 17% since March, April. So those are the safer investments. And when I talk about stocks, I'm not saying day trading, I'm saying long term. Look for companies that you believe in, that have a good history and just solid business practices, and you'll do all right in the long term with them. But avoid swing trading, avoid day trading. Please stay safe. Don't do what I did. Until next time, peace.